Good morning, traders. It is Tuesday, July 22nd. Looking at the charts, I'm going to start off with a member's recommendation who wants to talk about XLE, the energy space, which I've shared a few times. So I want to dive into that. Then we'll go into gold, silver, miners. And then I want to talk about the broad market, the sentiment, and options trading, because it is giving us some signals, and you got to be very aware of options in general. So let's just go and take a look at the price of oil. Now we have the daily chart of oil. This goes all the way back to the peak, or this big double peak here in 2022. More or less, oil has been going down. So not very good for energy stocks. But if we take a look at XLE, the energy stock space, it has been going obviously up. Now, in my book, Technical Trading Mastery, if we just move this over and take a look, the key understanding is how the markets move. Could put in a single top, double top, triple top, whatever it wants, but it's generally a kind of a blade, a tooth blade that rotates a series of higher lows, higher highs, and then eventually lower highs, lower lows. And if we look at the market here, if I touch this chart, we're going to disappear, but we have this series of where's that tool? Here we go. Series of these higher highs, and eventually we get more so into this. It's more of a sideways range. You could say this is like a quadruple top or whatever, or wherever you want to say the top could be. It could be here and here. It kind of starts to go sideways, and then we broke down. And now we're starting the downward. So we have all these series of higher lows and higher highs, eventually puts in a double top, and then it breaks down. And then, of course, it's going to start the move to the downside, which is pretty clear on this. So we're kind of like right here on the XLE, the energy space. Now, the first chart I showed you here when we look back at oil is the divergence. And we talked about this many months ago, because this is a trade that has been, that's taking forever to unfold. And that's how a lot of things happen. The Bitcoin trade we did last year, which was highly successful, it took years to unfold, and it provided an opportunity with big, powerful, like 40% return in a very short window. So you have to let trades come to you sometimes. And I look at bigger patterns than most people. I have the patience. I'm not out hunting for trades. I'm not trying to trade full time and be active in it. I'm about finding opportunities that are explosive and that have high probability, and taking advantage of them. And so what I want to show here is oil has been going down. If oil's going down, oil companies probably aren't making as much money. And the weird divergence here is obviously oil's been falling for years and energy stocks have been moving up for years. And now we're starting to see it finally crack and break to the downside, the energy space. So it's starting to lose that momentum. Now, what the member was saying, it's been in this ascending, what did he say? Ascending channel. So let's take a look here. This is the ascending channel that the member's talking about. It's ascending, it's rising, it's channeling back and forth through here. You could say this is also a kind of a bear flag pattern, and it's flagging in the opposite direction of the flagpole. If the flagpole is down, then you want to see the flag go in the opposite direction, so upward. And I think he's looking more so along these lines. If you're to kind of connect some lines, that it's starting to break down. It broke this little pivot low from a couple of days ago. It broke this pivot low. It's starting to get close to this one. This one here to me is more significant. So a crack to the downside and then a bearish flag or a mini rising channel would be more inclined for then the big drop in the fall. And I think we do need to see the market break down and the stock market in general to weaken, and potentially we'd have some type of trigger over here. It's not about trying to catch the first breakdown. That would be like you trying to catch this breakdown. You blink and you miss it, and then boom, you're underwater, because you probably would have got in here or down here at this open, and then it goes against you the whole way. So we do need to let it break, let the momentum shift, and of course we do need to let the stock market itself roll over. So if we look over here, we need, like where the bars are green, the stock, generally, you don't want to be shorting stocks or betting on falling prices when the stock market is going higher. What we need is the trend to change. We need it to give us a yellow signal or be red bars. And then once we get those, we come back over here, wherever energy is trading, which will probably have a bearish pattern. You can trade an inverse ETF and it should fall with the markets. You definitely want to make sure the tide is going down, the wave in the market is going down. And of course, we do want the asset, whatever you're looking at, to also be turning down. So That's kind of where we are. You got to be patient. Doesn't mean we're going to catch the trade. A lot of times we see things unfold and then the markets move or do something that is kind of not expected, and we don't want to chase the trade, or it just doesn't happen. And I know a lot of people, we've been waiting for this really since over here. We talked about it way over here, saying eventually we're going to have a big break, and then it's going to come up and have that kiss goodbye and then roll over. We are getting really close, and I hope we get the trade set up. I hope it moves in a way that it can be a discretionary trade that I also put on with my portfolio with a small position on an alternate portfolio, one that's more aggressive for trading stuff like this, not my core ACS strategy.